Hi everyone, it is Thursday, September 24th, 2015, and this is episode 37 of Serenova Crafts. I'm your host, Jessica. As it is pretty obvious, this is not Wednesday, it is in fact Thursday. As I mentioned last week in my show, I was going to be recording today instead of yesterday because yesterday was Yom Kippur. And on Yom Kippur, we do half of this entire book in services. Yeah. See that? Yeah, we did like half of the book in services. Plus some extra stuff that we repeated for... Yeah, anyways. It was a long day yesterday. Didn't have any time to record. In fact, from 8:30 yesterday morning until about 8:30 yesterday night, I only spent 2 hours not in services. So that'll tell you how long yesterday was and why I'm recording this morning. It also explains why I have zero show notes whatsoever, and I'm doing this entire thing by the seat of my pants. So, I am still planning to do the VKN tonight, actually. I need to go on Ravelry and tag people in that thread, because I haven't been on my personal computer in days, because between the high holidays and other stuff and work, this is the first time I've been on my computer since the weekend. Yeah. So no, go away, antivirus. I don't need your stuff right now. Did I have that finished last week? I think I did. Thought I showed it to you folks. If I did, you're gonna see it again. But I finished my Laura Ayler knit along. I think I did show it to you, but I'm gonna hold it up again real quick. Whee! Oh, ta-da! It's done. I'm happy with it. I've been wearing it. It's warm. It's comfy, and we're good. She actually released a cowl to go along with it that you can get for $1 if you bought the pattern to use your leftover minis with. So that's cool. Haven't finished anything else. I did work on one project that you guys haven't seen in a very, very long time, if you ever saw it at all. I'm trying to look for a... Oh, those are in the other room. Of course they are. Okay. So I started a sockhead hat with yarn that I got last fall. I've had this yarn for about a year. And I started a sockhead hat with it, months ago. That I just never seemed to work on, because I cast on the fit of starteritis. But I really like the one sockhead hat I have, and I kind of really want another one. And so, here's the cake. I don't have don't have a picture, I don't have it, not caked, because it's been caked for months. I can tell you when I started the project if the internet would work. So, Kevin was mean, and he got an Ethernet cable for his computer, which means it's just me stuck using our crappy Wi-Fi for some reason, and I'm just like, Argh. But anyways, my sockhead hat was started end of the spring, beginning of the summer. I split my lip, dang it. Internet, please work. Anyways, I'm almost done the ribbing. I only probably have I have about 3/4 of an inch to go on the ribbing. And then, it's just plain stockinette for 9 inches. I started this on April 8th. I'm finally finishing it. So I've actually done a lot of work on this in the last week because it's been so simple. I have done only a little bit on my personal sock club. There's no way I'm going to get these done in 6 days, because I haven't even hit the heel of the first sock. So this is going to be the first, because, see, I only knit that much. See there, to there, yeah. I only knit that much in the last week. I have been focusing on finishing whips the last week, hence the sockhead hat. And I also need to finish some samples, so the socks, unfortunately, are going to get set aside. I will, draw my October yarn next week on the podcast, but, I'm not going to cast on that day. I'm going to try to finish those and then do, the October socks. Yeah, it hasn't, I've been so busy with other things, unfortunately, that this month, as much as I wanted to finish a lot of stuff this month, it's just not happening, because I took on the Laura Ayler knit along kind of last minute spur of the moment, and that took the first 3 weeks of September. And then I haven't really been as focused on my knitting this month as I have in the past. I haven't been nearly as productive as I normally am. I just haven't been, my mind hasn't been on it. This past week, I've been really bad. I have been reading a lot, which means I don't knit because I have yet to master the art of reading and knitting at the same time. Especially when I'm reading something that's on the internet and I need to keep scrolling and stuff. It's not like page flips. I'm sorry, I trailed off for a sec, because I was thinking. This month has just not been, especially this past week, has not been particularly conducive to me churning out a lot of stuff and getting a lot of things done, which makes for a very boring, very short episode. I will say this, I did end up sleeping in this morning, because I was so tired from yesterday. In fact, my feet still hurt from standing yesterday. Because the way things work, the way a Jewish sanctuary is set up, so you have all the pews, benches, whatever you want to call them, where the congregation sits. And then you have kind of a stage area, which we call the bima, which is where the rabbi and we have a secondary leader who can lead services called the chazan, who, like, if the rabbi isn't there for some reason, can run the service, no problem. So the rabbi and the chazan stand on the bima, and then behind them, so every Jewish sanctuary faces, if you're in the U.S. at least, I'll say that, if you're in the U.S., the sanctuary faces east, because the sanctuary is supposed to face towards Jerusalem. So I guess if you're in India, it would face west, because it's whatever is the shortest distance to Jerusalem is the direction you face. So for us here in the U.S., we face east, because Israel is to the east of the United States. Though actually it should be southeast for us because globe, but anyways, we face east. And so on the east wall of the sanctuary, behind where the rabbi and the chazan stand, we have the ark. And the ark is where we keep our Torahs. And there are two barriers between what the congregation can see and the actual Torahs themselves. So we have actual, like, sliding doors that are closed most of the time. But during holidays and Saturday morning services, and during most services, actually, we open the doors during services. And there's a curtain that hides the Torahs from view once the doors are open. Now, when we take a Torah out of the ark to use it, to read it during services, we open the curtain, and everyone stands when the curtain is open. It's to show respect and things like that, so we stand. So, yesterday afternoon, there's one part of the service where the curtain is open for like an hour, and you have to stand for the entire time. And for me, if I'm moving around and I'm doing things and I'm on my feet, I'm not bothered by it. I can be up and moving and I'm good. But if you ask me to stand in one place, my knees get very upset very quickly. And, and they tell you if you need to sit down, sit down. I did end up having to sit down, because, I couldn't make it. My knees were hurting too much. And some people sit, some people stand. I mean, we have people in wheelchairs who they don't stand because they're in wheelchairs. You can't, but yeah. I also, unfortunately, didn't make it through the fast yesterday. When I got home for, like, our 2-hour break between services, I could feel a headache coming on, and I knew if I didn't eat something, I was going to have a migraine, and I'd be useless for the rest of the day. So I had to eat something. I mean, I only had something small, so I kept the spirit of the holiday as much as I could, but my fast I could feel the headache coming on. Excuse me. And I had to do something. So, that was yesterday. This is going to be a really short episode because I'm out of things to talk about already. I did work on the fingerless mitts. Not as much as I should have, though. I need to finish this. But I did knit a good chunk. I knit from the marker to there, so that's good. And this is lace weight, so it takes a little while to do stuff, but I'm working on it, like I said. There's going to be a VKN tonight. I am going to get together with Jen from the Uncreative Crafter on Sunday this weekend. She's actually going to be in the town where I live. And we're going to meet up and, like, have coffee or something, just to say hi, which would be cool. We're still planning to go back to King Richard's. Still haven't decided what weekend. Going to the Topsfield Fair. Haven't decided when I'm going with my mom. Going to Rhinebeck on the 17th. I need to start knitting on my sweater, or it's never going to get done. I did cast on... This is the thing. I cast on stuff, and then I didn't knit on anything, and then, yeah. So I ended up casting this sock on 4 times? Since I started it as on DPNs, then I switched to circulars, then I had to switch sizes a couple of times to get the right size to fit my foot using, yeah. So this is my 12 Sock Club sock, and I just got the toe done. I'll put a marker in this once, I'm done recording and everything, so that I have it. Everything's such a mess. If you can't tell, mess, yeah, because I've been so out of it that I'm just like... And now I'm picking up stuff while I'm talking to you folks, because that's just how my brain works. It's like, oh, it's a mess, you need to pick up stuff. Immediately starts picking up stuff when I'm recording my podcast, because of course that's not weird at all. Oh my god, I feel like my brain's going to explode. This is what happens when I don't have my medication for a week. Because I ran out last week. I ran out on Thursday last week, and I only got my prescription refilled this morning. Like, I went and picked it up, like, 20 minutes before I started recording. So I went the entire past week without my ADD meds. And because what happened is that I wasn't out when I called the doctor last week. And my doctor was good. She wrote out the script, signed it, because the stuff I take is in the same category as, like, morphine and opioids. So every time I get a refill, I need to hand a physical script to the pharmacist that has been actually signed by my doctor. So, yeah, because it's such a highly controlled drug. Because it's amphetamine. It's, yeah. Fun times. So, but anyways, can you tell? It's pretty obvious, right? But the office, like the front desk, right, of my doctor's office, forgot to call me and tell me he was ready to be picked up. And I called them at the beginning of this week, and all the lines were busy, and I left a message and no one got back to me. But when I called yesterday, they were like, oh my god, we are so sorry, we forgot to call you, it's here, it's ready. So I went and picked it up on my way back to services. Then I got it filled this morning because the pharmacy opened at 8. And now I'm here recording, and I did take it, but it hasn't really kicked in yet, because I only took it half an hour ago. So, yeah, it's been one of those weeks, and because I was so, like, not concentrating, so out of it and everything kind of just went to hell in a handbasket. It's one of those things where, as much as I do not like being dependent on medication for anything, unfortunately, ADD is one of those things where you don't really have a choice. If you need it, you need it, and you can't really get away without it. Now, if I wasn't working, if I didn't have a job, I could get away without taking the medication. But because I do, in fact, have a 40-hour-a-week job, and I do, in fact, actually want to keep that job, it's a necessity to function. And I know that, a lot of people are all about health and holistics, and I'm, all about home remedies and stuff for, anything that they work for. Like, I got a jar of Campho-Phenique in the cabinet, in the bathroom. It's not that I'm not against taking a natural remedy if it's, will work. But for something like ADD, unfortunately, none of the homeopathic remedies I have ever come across have worked. None of them. None whatsoever. And so, in this case, medication is the result. But it's a medication that doesn't have a lot of side effects. It does very little to me, physically. It does stuff mentally, but it doesn't do anything physically. And it doesn't change who I am mentally. Let me make that perfectly clear. The medication I take does not change my mental state. It doesn't. I'm still the same person with it and without it. The one thing it does is it gives me the ability to concentrate for longer periods of time than I have on my own. The other thing it does is it helps my short-term memory retention. That's it. It makes my memory a little bit better, and it makes my concentration ability a lot better. And that's it. Doesn't change my personality. It doesn't change how I feel. It doesn't change how I think. It doesn't change anything like that. It just makes my concentration ability better and my short-term memory a little bit better. Because honestly, my short-term memory is pretty crap. You can't tell by me jumping around in conversations and not remembering where I was 2 minutes ago. That's the thing. So, yeah. Oh, the one other thing was that this past Tuesday, the 22nd, Kevin and I shared our 4th anniversary. And for our anniversary, he got me WeatherTech for my car. Because I was talking about getting it for my new Nissan. Anyways. And I was just going to get it myself. But then he decided he was going to be a really amazing boyfriend and buy it for me as our anniversary present. So that is what he did. So it's all come now. And I put the back seat stuff in. The back seat liner in. But I need to vacuum the front seat of the car before I put the front seat in because I've been in the front seat and I've got pine needles and ground stuff and dirt and stuff in there already. So I actually haven't driven it. I've driven it in the rain, but it hasn't really gotten that wet or muddy or anything. But I need to go take it to a place and vacuum it out. Because our screens don't open, or I would totally just run an extension cord out the window and like take our vacuum outside, but our screens don't open, so I can't. Because our balcony is on the wrong side of the building from the parking lot. The window here is where the parking lot is. And so, and if I had like a 100-foot extension cord, I just plug it in and run it out the window. But I can't open the screen. So I can't do that. So I gotta go someplace. Maybe I'll just go to Mom's. Does she have a working vacuum? I don't remember. My mom, if my mom is a working vacuum, I'll just go to her house and run an extension cord out the front door. But that's besides the point. He got me WeatherTech for our anniversary, which was really sweet. I got him a couple of small things too. I couldn't spend as much money as he spent on me because we're operating at different budget levels because he makes a lot more than I do. He makes like 3 times what I do. Seriously, he makes like 3 times the amount I do. But he's an engineer. He's a mechanical engineer, so there's that. So yeah. But I got him a few small things that he was really happy about. I got him a couple of books he'd been wanting. He was really happy about that. And we ended up going out to dinner on Monday night for our anniversary instead of Tuesday night because Tuesday night was the start of services and I couldn't go out to dinner because it's a fast holiday. So yeah, now that I've rambled on for, 10 minutes about, I don't even remember what, I'm going to say goodbye. I will see you all next week. The VKN is tonight. And I will record on Wednesday, so it'll be 6 days instead of a week. And I need to go catch up on all my podcasts because I am like 3 weeks behind. Like, I haven't watched any of my podcasts since the beginning of the month. Like, this is a thing. I need to go watch them. I've recorded mine and I haven't watched anybody else's. I need to do that. I really need to do that. Anyways. Now that I've rambled on for another minute, I'm going to say goodbye. And I will see all you folks next week. I hope you have a good weekend. Fall is... Wait, what? Oh, cool. We got a lunar eclipse. Nice. Sunday night, lunar eclipse. I just looked at the calendar because I'm like, when does fall start? Oh. It is fall now. The autumnal equinox was yesterday. So it's officially fall. So I hope you enjoy your first weekend of fall. I am so scatterbrained at the moment. I need my meds to kick in. Enjoy your first weekend of fall. The leaves have just started to turn here. I'll try to take some pictures for next week. And I will see all you folks on Wednesday. So I hope you have a good week and a good weekend. Bye!